Hey yo, what is up? Welcome to Ninja Geek Games. We're doing a solo playthrough of Unbroken, a resource management adventure game. Your companions have fallen and you've been left for dead. With the bare minimum of equipment, you need to find a way out of those cavernous dungeons while being stalked by nasty monsters. Let's take a look to see if we can survive. Okay, so what we've done for the setup, we have these two boards here. This one is the resource tracker that keeps track of our cunning, metal, wood, food and treasure. And this down here is our effort tracker, which represents our stamina or health. And it's split into small, medium and large effort. And we start the game with 13. Anytime you spend, consume or gain resources, you'll move the markers up and down to reflect this. This board here has the time tracker, which we start on level 1. And these areas here are the monster tracker, here for keeping track of the monster's armor and its health. You're playing as the Sneak, which is Maxine Zenma, and these cards are actually double-sided, just representing different artwork, but the contents and the skills are identical on each side. As the Sneak, we get 3 skills to use during the game, which are Take a Peek, Flexible and Dodge. And we place this token here because it's level 1, so we get to use one of these skills once. These here are skills and condition cards that can be gained during the game, and when active, are lined up along here. As we've been beaten to a pulp, we start the game with bare hands, which lists the effort that needs to be spent in order to do damage or break armor, and the resources that need to be spent in order to upgrade your weapons to a knife or a club. This deck here is the encounter deck, which will come across during the exploration phase, and we'll draw a number of those and only get to action one of them. These large cards here are the monster cards. There are 4 levels with 6 monsters in each level. When we need to come up against a monster, we roll this unique die here to randomly select the monster that we're going to fight for that level. So the basis of the game is we need to complete encounters to increase our resources, upgrade our weapons, gain some skills, and then defeat 4 monsters. And we need to be prepared to fight each monster before our time tracker reaches 0, or else the monster may be able to ambush us. The game is essentially split into 2 phases, which is the travel phase, where we can prepare our hero by carrying out general and travel actions, an encounter step where we can draw cards during expiration, and a combat phase where we'll fight the monsters. So the first thing we do is a preparation step where we can carry out any actions on this card, which are travel and general actions, any actions on our hero card, and any skills that we have in play. So I think the first action I'm going to do is a scout action, which is going to cost me 1 small effort and 1 time, but it does mean I get to see which monster we're going to fight for the combat phase, which gives me a slight advantage in preparing for that fight. So to do that, we'll roll the die. I've rolled a 1, and here is level 1 monster. We are going to be fighting a giant spider. So I'll just get rid of the other 5 level 1 cards. So we know we're going to be fighting the giant spider Ansheb later in the level. It has a health of 3. It does have an ambush effect, which means that if our time tracker ever reaches 0, the spider will take 2 turns at the beginning of the battle step. It has a cunning resource under the trickery set here, which means that if we're able to spend a cunning during the battle, we can actually bypass this monster, defeat it immediately, but we don't get any of the resources for doing so. And the giant spider card says, tap, tap, tap is something calling down your back. You sense you are not alone in these tunnels. Then you hear what sounds like metal scraping on the walls. And I don't know if you can see, but this spider's got like metal swords for legs. It also has a response, which means as soon as battle starts, I immediately gain a poison condition from here. That's not good. When the spider decides to fight during the combat turn, we'll roll this die and see what happens. So I think I'm going to plan next, which means I can spend 4 small efforts to gain 1 cunning. That's just in case that we aren't able to prepare properly to defeat this giant spider. At least I can bypass through the trickery. So what shall I do now? The game also comes with these really cool cards here. And what these do is you place this token as you're playing, and it's like a flowchart or a decision tree. And you're able to move this down just to remind yourself of what to do next and where you are in that particular turn. But we won't need to use this for this game. And there's also one for the battle step as well. So I think we will explore. So we will draw 2 encounter cards, and although we draw 2, we will only select one of them. Now what you have to do is pay time to do these, and then you usually spend a resource to gain something. I can't do this one because I don't have any medium stamina, so I can't gain these 2 metal, which are pretty handy for crafting weapons. However, luckily, I was able to gain cunning before I explored, which means I can spend that cunning to gain a small and a large effort, which I think I'll do. But that does cost me 2 time, and then these will get discarded. And this here is Surge of Confidence, and it says, spend time recalling your fallen companion. Flashes of their battle speeches inspire you. Their death will not be forgotten, their memory will not be forgotten. So we were inspired, and we've gained some effort. And if you notice here, I need actually 2 medium effort to do 3 wounds, which will actually kill the spider. So I think I'm going to use my skill, which is Take a Peek, where I can spend my 1 token to choose any one of these skills, and I'm going to choose this one, which lets me reveal an additional encounter card during the exploration step. So I'm going to explore now, so I can get to draw 3. I can't do this one, Salvation for a Price, because I don't have any treasure. I'm still at 0. However, I can spend 1 small effort to gain a treasure for 1 time, or spend 2 time and spend no resources to gain a treasure anyway. Now I don't have to do any of these. What I can do instead is rest, where I still spend the time, but the time I spend I can also gain back in small effort. So I think I'll choose this one, Heavy Chest. Something glistens through the cracks in this golden chest, drawing you near. You almost break an arm, forcing it open. But I don't want to do that, I'm just about to fight a spider. But the hidden scrolls within yield valuable secrets about the caverns. The gold is nice as well. So I spend 1 time and 1 small effort, I'll gain a treasure. Now if I explore again and I end up getting choosing one with 3 time, my time goes to 0. I still complete the card, but I automatically then go to combat and the spider gets to ambush because it reached 0. So what I think I'll do is I'll spend 4 small effort here to gain another medium effort, just in case that happens, and at least I can try and wipe out the spider. So I'll explore again. Hopefully I'll get a 1 or a 2. Oh, there's our 2. Okay, I can't do either of these. Bear Trap because I don't have cunning, I spent that earlier, and I don't have any food to gain these. So what I'll do is I can choose either one, and I'll rest. So my time goes to 2, but I do gain 2 small effort for doing that. So I'm not going to do anything in the preparation step. So I'm at the decision step where I can either explore or fight the monster. And I think I'm going to fight the monster first. Try and defeat it and go through to level 2. So before combat takes place, what I need to do is move my time token to level 2. The spider doesn't get to ambush me because it didn't reach 0, so it doesn't get to take 2 turns before me. But I do need to draw a poison condition due to the response outlined there. And this will only be active for this level. And it says response. Before taking your turn in combat, lose small effort equal to the number of tokens on this card. And this card enters play with the number of tokens indicated on the monster sheet, which here, I don't know if you can see, is 1. So we'll have 1 token. And this here is a passive action that says plus X poison affects place X additional tokens on this card. But I don't think the monster has any of those passive effects, so no more poison can be added to that. Now these conditions can be gained in 2 ways. They can be gained immediately, in which case they sit here for the remainder of the level, or as indicated here, they give you the level that they're going to take effect. So this one here will say take a crippled condition card for level 2, which means the card will go from here beside the monster, won't come into play until I get to that level. So I get to attack first, and I'm not going to hang around. So I will spend my 2 medium effort here, there we go, to do 3 damage, and the spider is dead. Even though I've got fists, I've got a giant newspaper somewhere as well that I've rolled up and splattered it with. So the first thing I do is claim the rewards. So I gain a food, a wood, 1 small effort. Oh, I should have lost one actually for the poison effect, so I've just done that now. I gain a medium effort, some time, and a skill. And what you do for the skills is you draw 2 and choose 1. I do have a flexible skill here, but if I'd used my token, I could have drawn an extra skill to choose from. This is Tinker, and it's a passive ability where I can use wood and metal interchangeably. And weaponsmith, I get to ignore all disarm effects in combat, and the disarm effect in bold here will be one of these. And there are loads of different abilities here throughout all the monsters. I think there are 24 monsters in total. But here, this passive ability means I get to reduce the cost of all craft actions by 1 time. So I could use that, and use that wood to craft myself the knife instead of using the metal. That seems pretty good. Let's take a quick look at the club in comparison. To me, the club doesn't do as much damage, but it appears a little bit cheaper, where I need cunning to do some of the actions there. So I think I'll take the weaponsmith, and the other one gets discarded. I have to go through the hunger phase now. The old saying, kill a spider, eat something. So what I have to do here is, it's level 1, so I have to consume 1 food. If I consume 1 food, I also gain 1 small effort. If I had no food, I'd actually lose effort. And as the levels increase, you'll have to eat more food. But the more you don't eat, the more small effort you'll lose. So for the second food you don't eat, instead of losing just the 1 small effort, you'll actually lose 2 for that, 3 for the third, and so on. We can get rid of Spider-Man. Level 2, I now gain 2 cubes here, so I can use these skills twice. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to orienteer. I'm going to spend 1 small effort, and I can draw 2 additional cards during the exploration phase, which I'll do now. So I get to draw 4. And these are all pretty good, and I can't decide what to do. So I can spend my large effort to gain a small food and 2 small effort, spend nothing to gain 2 small, spend a wood to gain a large effort, or spend this medium effort to gain 3 wood. If I gain 3 wood, I can then build the club. So I think I'll demolish a tree layer. It's a crooked watchtower overlooking the caverns, and it presents a chance to harvest wood if you want to exert the effort it takes to rip it apart. Try not to make too much noise. So I'll discard these. I lose 2 time for this. I spend my medium effort, but I do gain 3 wood. So what I think I'll do is I will craft, so that's 3 wood, at 1 small effort, but I can ignore the time. And I've now crafted a club. So I'm going to spend 1 of these tokens to draw an additional card, so I can draw 3. See, I could spend that to get wood, some food, and a medium. It only cost me 1 time as well, and I don't need this here. I can't do this one because I don't have the cunning, or I could just gain 3 small for free. But eventually I would be spending the small effort, which is 4, to gain one of these anyway. So I think I will do this one. I'll get rid of these. So this is looting the supplies. The wooden enclosure is surprisingly well crafted, nearly made by an expert hunter. It would take a great deal of energy to pry open the frame and get the food inside. At the very least, I can repurpose the debris for my own needs. So I'm going to smash it down, get a little bit of effort and food, and get the wood that I broke. So that cost me 1 time. I'll spend this one, gain another wood, a food, and a medium effort. Now if I get 1 more wood, I could actually end up crafting a maul. That's pretty good. So that's something to think about. It does cost 2 small effort, but and only 1 time because of this ability. So I will explore, just draw 2. I'll choose the man with the lantern. I don't have any metal to spend, although I do like that picture. So then this sinister dude here. A red glow shines and washes over you, flickering with a strange brilliance and reminding you of a time yet to pass. You recall a strange dream where spirits once guided you through the trials of the dark. So I'll spend 2 time and I get myself a cunning. Again, I'm not going to do anything in the preparation phase, so I'll draw 2. Oh, both of those are really good. So I could actually end up. Oh no, I need. That's 2 metal. That's 3 to build the axe. And the axe. I think these are the last ones that I can build. The maul or the axe. There's quite a lot of damage as well. It's not as versatile as the maul. But it's cheaper for the actions. Or for the power actions anyway. That's a large effort, and I don't need one here. So I'll spend 2 and my treasure. I'll gain 2 metal. Might come in handy later from the greedy goblin. And I still can't build anything because I don't have enough wood for the maul or metal for the axe. So I'll draw 2 cards. So I can gather strength, or the old cartographer's map. I've already have 1 food, so I'm not desperate for another. I think I'm going to go here, the gathering strength, where a vision of a wandering sage from your past inspires you to meditate. Upon entering a deep state, you recall the family and home outside the iron mines. This reflection is short but empowering. So that is going to cost me 2. I gain a medium effort, which I need for those damages. I think I'm going to orienteer, so I'm going to spend 1 small to draw 2 extra cards. Well, there's the wood I need, but that would drop me to 3, and that 3 words cost me 2 time, so I could end up building that, although I do need small effort because I think I'm going to have to fight soon. I could go here, spend 1, take 2 food, but this will drop to 4 and I'll automatically get ambushed, so it'll be a random monster, plus it gets to go first as well. I think I'm going to use this one because I do want to scout to see what I'm fighting, so I'll spend 1 time, 1 food, and I gain 5. And this is a ravenous hunger. Some of your scarce food will go a long way toward making you stronger for the dangers lurking into the shadows. The beast might attack you at any time, so you think you're going to die anyway, so it's like a last meal anyway. Okay, although if I do scout, it's going to cost me 2 time. That's going to bring me to 1. I'm going to have to fight anyway, so I know which one it's going to be. So I think I will orienteer again. I get to draw 4 cards. 1, 2. Don't really want to do this because this, as I said before, this large effort doesn't really do anything here. I don't want to get rid of this food because I'll need that for fighting, either to break armor or to do my big attack. If I do this one, or this one actually, the monster will ambush me. So I think really I've got no choice but for this one if I don't want to be ambushed. But not all the monsters have an ambush, so you have to push your luck a little. So I'll do the golden amulet. Searching flames encapsulate and dance around the preserved talisman of power. Its strange glow disperses through the dark around you, preserving the strength of forlorn misfits, inspiring you for countless battles on the horizon. So that cost me 2 time. I don't have to pay any resources, but I do get 3. Okay, last preparation stage, I think. Can't craft anything. I might look to get another medium effort just in case I need to break that armor. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Gain that one. I'm going to save this for dodge so that if I roll this combat die during the monster attack, I can reduce the roll by 1. So I'll go to battle. Oh, actually, this should have disappeared. So level 2, and I have to fight monster 3. 1, 2, 3. The crazed survivor. So they have a health of 4. If I'd let my time tracker go to 0, I would have had to gain the crippled condition card for the level 3. I can trick them and defeat them automatically without the rewards by downgrading my club. But I don't want to do that. And it says the moment you lock eyes with his feral gaze, you realise whatever humanity remained inside this tortured soul is long gone. His primitive nature might hint at some dark corruption, driving him mad. Unarmed and uttering nonsensical words, lunges for your weapon. And it says here, if I've got a basic weapon at the beginning of the battle step, I have to degrade it or downgrade it. Then the crazed survivor will attack immediately. So whether I trick them or downgrade my weapon, he's going to attack. That's not good, because to attack him I have to attack him twice. It's going to cost me 2 of those and 2 of those. So he's going to attack me and steal my weapon. Brilliant. So this gets downgraded. After all that time of trying to build it. Your bare hands can't get downgraded. The club and the knife are what's called basic weapons, and then the maul and axe are advanced weapons. So now we're going to box. So he attacks first and gains +1 to his roll. Okay, we've rolled a 1. +1, I lose 1 small effort, which is not the end of the world. What I need to do actually is move that on to level 3. So you can lose time, so it's just say that you don't go less than 0 minus. So you need to put that at the beginning of the battle step. So he's had his attack with +1. It's my turn, so I'm going to spend 2 medium, and I'll do them 3 damage. And it's his roll now, and they still get the +1 because it's to all combat rolls. So that's a 3, so that's a 4. What I'm going to do is spend my last token to reduce that roll by 1. So it remains at a 3. I still lose 2 wounds. It's now my turn. and I spend 2 wounds, 2 small effort to reduce their health by 1. So they are defeated. So I gain 1 food. I really hope that it's not him that I'm eating. 3 small effort, and a skill. Now if I'd kept this token, I may have been able to draw an extra skill card and have 3 to choose from, but I used it to reduce the dice roll by 1. So I've got awareness or shadow. Awareness is ignore all steal effects in combat, but I can spend 2 small effort to ignore the ambush effect, so I can actually risk going down to 0. That's quite good. Risky, but quite good. Shadow, which means I ignore all worn effects in combat, and the warns are here. But I do get to ignore the cost of time in travel actions, and after making the scout action, I do gain a small effort for doing that. I think I'm going to go for awareness, because it's only going to cost me 1 time for the next level that I'll get saved from that, 2 for the next one. So I just think that's slightly more beneficial. I just hope that I get a steal or a disarm monster next. So you are dead. Because that was level 2, I now have to eat 2 food. So I'll eat 1, gain 1, and then I'm 1 food short, so I lose 1 effort. Level 3, I gain 3 of these tokens to use for the skills now, and I'm on level 3 here. This is where it starts to get pretty tricky with the monsters. So I think the first thing I'm going to do is scout, and I will spend a cunning and a small power, nope, a time, sorry, to reveal a monster. 1, so that's the first one here. And we are fighting a bugbear warlord, Bolgar. Well, somebody's carrying a little holiday weight. He has an armour, so before I do any damage to him, I have to get rid of his armour. So I am going to be looking to get, or at least to spend some effort to do that. He's got 5 health, but with my card here I can ignore the ambush. And his passive attack is, if any of my attacks inflict 4 or less wounds, they're reduced by 1, and I'm guessing that's because he's got really heavy armour. And it doesn't say by a minimum of 1 either. Right, so I'm going to spend 1 small effort, draw 4 cards to explore. And I think it's a no-brainer. I'm going straight to the reaching the shelter. The safety of a secluded cave calls to you. You debate whether to part with some of your metal to secure the footing for the climb, just so you can rest. Unintelligible whispers follow you every step. So I spend 1 time, 1 metal, and I gain 1 small, 1 medium and 2 small. Another wood would be handy. So I'm going to spend another small effort. I'm not going to do a preparation phase yet. And I'm going to reveal an additional 2 cards during exploration. So here basically means I can spend 1 of these to gain 5 of those, but likelihood is I'll then spend 4 to gain 1 of them, so I'm just gaining 1. So that one technically would be better, but I do need this one here for breaking his armour. But if I had the club, it doesn't use that, so it might be a waste. Where's the knife? but the knife does have it. So I might actually do this one here, survival instincts, which at a time of desperation, you stop to repair your weapon. Memories come rushing back to when those who fought beside you, and you feel your grip on life tighten, finally finding what it takes to survive. So that's expensive. That is 4 time, but it does gain me a large effort. So because of that, what I'll do now is I will spend my metal, medium, and only 1 time because I have this passive ability here. And I'll gain back the knife that was taken off me. But I do need to gain a cunning, or 2. So I will spend 1 for my take a peek, so I can draw 3. I'll go here, eye-opening vision. A flash of a monstrous memory envelopes you. Visions of dangers ahead keep you up. Despite the overwhelming terrors, you prepare for oncoming battles. So that's going to cost me 3, but I do gain 4. Small effort for that. What I'm going to do is spend small 4 and gain a cunning. I'm going to need that to break the armour anyway. So back to me, nothing in the preparation phase. I'm going to do this one, so that's 2 to gain a small effort. And this is foreboding warning. We have vivid dreams are starting to get the better of you. A blind witch urges you to escape while you still can. Wandering whispers follow you, uttering the words mother over and over. Cannot shake the impending doom from your mind. Words bringing more paranoia. Okay. Right. So I'll spend 1 to orientate, draw 2 additional cards. 1, 2. That's what I was looking for. Now I need that cunning. So I could gain it here by spending 2 to gain the cunning. But if I go to secluded crevice, what I can do here is just spend 1 time and 1 wood. I already have 2, and I gain 4 small effort, which I can then use to buy that, and it's only costing me 1 time. So no one will see you build a fire in the crevice unless this home is grotto to something else. So that's going to cost me 1 time, 4 small effort. Going to cost me a wood as well. What I want to do now is spend that 4 to gain another cunning. So at least my plan at the minute is to do the damage with the armour and then do 5 damage to take him out if I survive. I'm not going to prepare. I will spend this token again to take a peek, draw 1 additional encounter card during my exploration step. Not sure which one of these to do. I don't need the wood because the sword and the spear generally don't use it for crafting, and the spear is just 1 wood and I already have 1. And it just means I've got to spend this needlessly even though it costs 0 time. So what I think I'm going to do is rest. So I'll choose this one. So I lose 1 time but I gain 1 effort. Or no, because I need that for here. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So I don't want to prepare, I don't want to lose any more effort because he starts taking it there. Don't really need to worry about an ambush because I can spend 2 effort to negate that. I can't craft a weapon yet. So I could do an encounter now. I gain the encounter even if that goes to 0, so I'm not going to do any prep. I'll go straight to the exploration. Oh, both pretty good. This only costs 1 time, but it means that I gain 1 metal, which actually is good enough for me to be able to get the spear. What's the spear like? But what it means is I have to commit to this card next, unless I choose to go to battle. Or I can spend 2 time. I'll gain 3 small effort, which really then means I can spend the 2 to ignore the ambush effect, which is fine. But I think I need the weapon more. So I will spend 1 time to gain 1 metal. I'm now going to craft. So that's going to cost me 1 metal, 1 wood, 1 small effort. I ignore the time actually, that's pretty good because of this weaponsmith. So I can gain the spear now. So I now have an advanced weapon hitting a monster at level 3. Whereas before the knife I had to use those cunnings I'd saved up for, and the small effort, now it's just 2 small efforts. So those can be used elsewhere. So that said, I might as well hit this. And I have to commit to the next one, so I can only draw 1. And it's 3, so that takes me to 0 anyway. Oh, but I do gain 4. This is an edge of exhaustion. Near the brink of collapse, a well-deserved rest by a kindled fire does you some good, spiriting you for the battles to come. Well, that's pretty handy. That's probably the luckiest thing that's happened to me in this game. It costs 3 time, so that takes me to 0, but I still get to play this card. So that's 4. That gets exhausted. I now jump straight to battle because we've reached 0. I can pay 2 small effort to ignore the ambush, which I think I'll do. This gets placed onto level 4, which is there. They have 1 armour and 5 damage. And Bugbear Warlord, grizzled from old wars, the armoured hunter grins at the sight of possibly adding another skull to his belt. Sounds like the Predator. Sadistic joy and frightening fury, he stomps towards you. Regardless, your own survival proficiency stills you with confidence to avenge the beast's victims, whomever they may have been. Right, so passive attack, any wounding attacks less than 4 reduced by 1. And I don't think I'm going to do that because I can use these. So my first action is, I can carry out any general actions, so I can focus, inspire, plan. But doing that lets them have a turn before I can then take a combat. So I won't do any of the actions. I will, first of all, I've got to destroy this because I can't wound him while he still have armour. So I need to spend 2 small effort. That breaks his armour. And then his attack. Right, so this here says that I gain the amnesia condition for level 4. I don't know what the amnesia condition is. I cannot use any skill. Now if I use this and downgrade it to the crippled skill, basically it's going to cost me more time to do anything during the exploration step. So every time I explore and use the timer, it costs me 1 additional time to do that. So I think I will use my token. I will change that to a 4 and go for the crippled. So it's a daze. So this will be for, this will go here. I'll put it here for now. And that'll join me at level 4. So that's their attack. My next attack, I might as well just kill him now. with my my power wounds. So that's 1 large and 1 medium effort. That causes 5 wounds. So now he's dead. So I'll take this over here just in case. And I gain a large effort, 1 medium, 3 small. What was it? 1, 2, 3. No, there. 2 food. And a skill. So I have Berserk or Cautious. So Berserk says, after rolling a monster's combat roll, you can increase the result by 2, and if I do, the attack power of my next wound is increased by 1. I mean, it's nice to have the +1 wound, but increasing by 2, the higher up you go on this these dice roll here, the more powerful the attacks. For level 4, some of them are going to be quite detrimental. Whereas that one there, Cautious, at the beginning of the level, you gain time equal to the current level +1. But if I do, I gain the Afraid condition. What's Afraid? I cannot rest. So I think I'm going to do that just because I've got the crippled, which means that it's going to cost me extra. So I might as well go Cautious as well. That one goes here. And I'll put this one here just because if I put that there, you're not going to be able to see it. Okay, so Hunger Phase. So it's level 3, so that's 1, 2, 1, 2, and then I lose 1 for not being able to eat the third one. I've gained my rewards. Level 4 means I get 4 tokens on here. I can use my ability now because it's current level +1. So at level 4, so I gain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And he disappears. And now we begin level 4. I don't need to worry about crafting because I have the advanced weapon. Although I'm okay with resources here, I've got a lot of time. These resources are pretty low, which means it's going to be difficult to gain anything decent from the encounter card. So I think the first thing I'm going to do, gain the Afraid. For this, I've got to get the Afraid, which means I can't rest. So I'm going to spend 1 to orienteer and reveal 2 additional cards during my exploration phase. So if we look at these here, I think I could do this one, where I spend 1 or 2 time because of my crippled ability, but I have to commit to the next one, or I can spend 2 small effort to gain wood. So no, I think I'm going to do eavesdropping. 2 orcs argue about where bats and blood drinkers lurk in the deeper caves. Your curiosity gets the better of you. If you linger too long, I run the risk of being discovered. So that's going to cost me, it's only 1 time, +1 for crippled. The spend is just commit to the next encounter card. I do gain cunning. Okay, so I'm not going to do any of the travel or folk general actions, so I'll commit. And I get to spend that cunning 2 time +1 to a trapped shrine. And examining the shrine of uncaring gods, you notice a mysterious light underneath the candles and religious offerings that past adventurers once offered to the solemn witch mother. So I'm now stealing religious goods. So 1 treasure and 1 medium effort. Okay, I will spend 1 token to draw 3 cards because I don't want to spend another effort. I have no wood or food. I can't rest because of the Afraid ability, so I will choose Disrupting the Feast. You are hungry and desperate enough to steal from the hobgoblin's feast. It may be risky, but harnessing the stealth you've mastered along the way gives you a survivor's chance. So that's going to cost me 2 + 1. Spend and gain 2 of those. Food's important here because the monsters at the end of the game are going to be quite tough, but you still have to go through the hunger phase after defeating them, or if you defeat them. So I will spend 1 and explore again, draw 2 extra cards. Ooh, armoured, if I remember correctly, that is, yeah, there it is. So I've got 2 options I can do here. I can go for Forgotten Trap, which I spend 3, but the monsters' combat rolls at the end of the here are all reduced by 1. Now that is really, really handy. Or I can have Armoured, which only costs me 2 time, but still a small effort, which basically allows me to ignore 2 wounds or 2 small damage. I think I'm going to go for Forgotten Trap. That's going to cost me 4. I'm hoping that will come in handy later. I'll put that there as a reminder, or I'll put it up here next to the monster. So I'll commit again. Well, I don't really want to spend my large effort, so I'm going to spend 1 food, 2 time + 1 to do an unexpected teacher. His proposal entices me to give up a piece of my food. As I stare into its empty eyes, you feel yourself filled with sudden knowledge. So I get to draw 2 skills and choose one. I'm just thinking, shall I use this to draw 3? No, I think I won't. I've got enough skills at the minute. So I draw 2, and I have defensive stance, which means that I can reduce the attacking power of my attacks by 1, but I get to -2 off the next dice roll. I don't really need that, seeing as I've got Forgotten Trap here. And heroic perseverance, my inspiration general action, which is normally 2 medium effort to gain 1 large effort, but doing so allows me to, if I take this action during battle, I can actually take an action immediately. So I'll take this one. I don't know if I'll use it, but I certainly won't be using that one. I'll spend 1 to draw 3 cards. Okay, so spend a treasure to gain 1 cunning. I don't really want to spend the food. I want to keep my food for the end of the game. And that one there, I don't have any wood. And I can't rest, so I will bribe the whelp. In exchange for a shiny trifle, the goblins share their tribal legends. Your ears are left ringing with the stories of old kings long dead, but they inspire you to carry on and escape these wretched caves. So that's going to cost me 2 time. Because of crippled, I spend my treasure, gain 1 cunning and 2 small effort. I will go again. I'm gonna have to spend my food, I think, so I've just spent my treasure. So wrecking is hungry work. The neglected collapsed structure offers concealment for you to eat, rest and salvage a few planks. In the distance, steam rises from vents, blocking the rest of the way forward, so that's going to cost me 3. 1 food, but I do get 2 wood and 2 small effort. Now I've got some more effort. I am actually more inclined to use that, although I could go all the way to 0 and ignore the ambush. So I'll get rid of this one, draw 3. I think it's a difficult decision, this, because I need a small effort and it's only 1. But that food is going to help because I had to spend that earlier. So 1, 2, 3. To have a food. Or I've eaten a slimy creature that's on the wall. Capturing it's easy, but the challenge is keeping it down. So I think my last action, I will spend this to draw an additional card. So I now draw 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, we have Ghostly Adventurer, Spearfishing, and Misguided Dreams. Now, any one of these is going to send me into the battle step with an ambush. Again, I would have liked the food, but I don't have the metal to spend. That won't become useful at all, I don't think. Because even if I had them, if the monster tried to steal from me, I've got an awareness skill which ignores all steal in combat. So I think I'll go for here, which isn't bad. So I can reduce my time to 0, and I still get to gain 2 of these. Okay. So let's see who we're fighting. 1 again. A basilisk. So it has 1 armor, 12 health. Its ambush ability is I get a paralysed condition with 2 additional tokens. I'll just see what that is before we decide to cancel it. Before taking my turn, roll the 6-sided die. If the result is equal to or less than the number of tokens on the card, then I have to skip my turn. And it enters with 2 tokens on it. If I get a 1 or 2, I skip my turn. So I'm not going to spend my small effort. I'm going to risk being paralysed. I'll keep that here with 2 tokens on it. Oh, but hang on. No, that's 2 additional tokens plus 2, so that'd be 4. I may spend metal instead of rolling full paralysis, and I have no metal. And the basilisk can't suffer more than 4 wounds in a round. My turn first, so I'm going to do... Yeah, I'll do my power attack, even though it's only going to do 4 wounds. So that's 1 there and 1 there. Oh no, I can't. Whoops. Because of the armour, first thing I need to do is spend 2 small effort to get rid of the armour. And then... Oh no, before I even do that... Sorry. Before taking your turn, roll the combat die. So I need to roll a 5 or 6. 6. Okay. So now I can take my turn. So that's 1, 2, 1. Basilisk's turn. 2. But with my forgotten trap, I can -1, so I lose 1. Okay, my turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's fine. I am safe. So now I can do my power attack. So 1 and 1, which does an attack of 4. Basilisk's turn. So that's 5. -1 is 4. That's a steal. I ignore all steal effects in combat thanks to awareness. So back to my turn. 5 again. Lucky, brilliant. Okay, so I can now spend 1 medium, 1 small to do 3 damage. 1, 2, 3. Basilisk's turn. That's a 6. -1 is a 5. Again, which I ignore steal. So looking good so far. My turn. So I need to attack, but I need to roll for paralysis. 4. Okay, so I have to skip my turn. Roll for the basilisk to attack. 2. -1 for trap is lose a small effort. Back to me. 5. Again, another 5, so I get to miss that. So I will spend 1 medium, 1 small, 1, 2, 3. 1 more attack, and it's dead. So roll for the basilisk. 3. +1 paralysis on the paralyzed card. Oh God. Back to me for my turn. See ya. Yep, done it again. So they have 2 wounds left. I am going to spend 1. I'm going to overspend because I need my small effort for food. And 1 small, that's 2 wounds. Basilisk is dead. Gonna make some snakeskin boots or a handbag out of it. So I think I'm gonna die here. So end of the round, I need to spend 1 food to increase. Now, because it's level 4, I need to eat another 3 food. So the first food that I don't eat is gonna cost me 1. The next step, I lose. I can't eat a second one, so that's actually going to cost me 2 small effort. So for the third food that I can't eat, I have to lose 3 effort. I can't do that. If you're forced to spend effort you don't have, unfortunately, you die. So although I think I did everything right, I was very, very lucky with the paralysis here, and this helped a lot, helping me gain these steal actions, which was negated by my awareness. I succumbed to hunger because nobody wants to eat a dead basilisk. So what we do now is we add up our unbroken score, and you do this by calculating the number of resources you have. So I get 2 for every cunning resource I have. So I have 4 points, 2 for any wood, and I don't get anything for anything else. Treasure's the big one. I think that gives you about 10 for each resource you have. So my score is 8, which means that I am a cast-off, a nobody that let all my fallen companions down. Right, let's take a quick review of the game. So after all that adventuring, gathering and fighting, we starved. Unbroken can be brutal at times, where bad card draws can leave you with nothing but a little bit of small effort, and this can be difficult to recover from. However, in the majority of games, I either win or lose with very little to spare, and I kind of like that. It kind of reminds me of those adventure books I used to read as a kid, and here you do get to mesh your own unique story each time. There are 4 heroes to choose from that, as well as the sneak, include the brawler, sage and hunter. Each of these have different skill sets and also a female and male side. With each character, you do need to play to their strengths and use their individual skills wisely, as they are limited. Sometimes you can roll out some great combos of cards and resources to get big gains in crafting, which is very rewarding. There are 24 monsters, 6 for each level, that are all vastly different, so game replay value is high in this respect. For a relatively quick game, it's very enjoyable, but at times you can find you've been slaughtered very early on. However, this really isn't an issue, as you only need to shuffle the decks to start a new game. There are varying levels of difficulty to play, plus blank cards from all the decks, so you can create your own unique monsters and weapons, for example. I really like the theme, as most of the time I am at my lower limit of resources and effort, so you always need to plan and assume the worst, meaning you feel you have enough effort to take on a monster, only to find they're armoured, which saps you, or you start gaining those dreaded condition cards. I enjoy this game as it can be set up with multiple plays in a short space of time. The only issue I do have is that the text on the cards, especially the encounter cards, is really small, like tiny. This is Ninja Geek Games. Thanks for watching.